Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Katawa Shoujo. And we had just finished, I guess, just another day in the life of Hisao after Lilly's departure to Scotland. And it looks like Hanako's warming up to us very nicely, so we'll see where it goes from here and how this long-distance relationship will unfold. We're going to go minor discord. Walking through the lobby to the cafeteria, I silently rue my daily routine having been completely thrown off. It seemed like a normal day. I arrived in class before most, due to waking early and having become quite adept at chucking down my pills without choking as I get ready for the day. But as students trickled in, one never materialized. Hanako. I step inside, my eyes scanning the expanse of the cafeteria in search of a suitable place to take a seat. It's a task made more difficult by the groups of students moving about and busily talking. Gah! A hand pounds my back hard a couple of times, severely winding me. I couldn't care less about the culprit as I focused my thoughts on my chest in a near automatic reaction. Well, I'm about to die. Someone patted me on the back and I'm about to die. I'm more fragile than I thought. My hand instinctively tightens on my breast and I start going through the steps I rehearse in my mind every other day. Breathe steady, in and out. With a measure of relief, I can slowly feel my chest becoming less tense. By the time I look back up, my face is covered in sweat from the experience. Of course, of all people. Hey, man, are you okay? Wow, you can actually see that I'm not okay? What are you hiding, Kenji? I don't think you're legally blind. Dang it, don't do that, you idiot! He retreats back, an expression of unease written on his face. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have barked at him. No, you totally should have, Iso. You were totally in the right here, considering he had no way to know. I give a sigh and right myself with some difficulty. Sorry, I just have some chest problems. Sharp knocks aren't good. It seems strange to see him so upset. The fact that I can't do anything about it irritates me. Let's get lunch. Okay, it's good to have some company for once. We start off to the serving line. One good thing is that Kenji and I can make small talk nowadays, as opposed to my only interaction with him being anti-feminist lectures. Seems like it'd be hard to find an empty table. There's a few people I wouldn't mind sitting with. Nobody's like you, though. I feel a shiver run down my spine. Clarify that now. They don't listen. Their minds are closed. It's the media, man. The gosh darn brainwashing mainstream feminist fascist media. Oh, here comes these ramblings. He takes a breath and I savor the second of silence. Dang, they control everything but you and me. I relax a little while we go grab our food and drink. So, what you got for me? Nothing? Come on, you've been hanging around Sato and the other chick for ages now. Rumors are all over my class and probably some of the others too. Eavesdropping isn't a good habit there, Kenji. Let me guess, you never do it? Not even when you're bored, really? What are you referring to, Kenji? Fine. Point taken. Both of us stop to have a soup ladled into a couple small bowls and placed onto our trays. The concoction that lands into the bowl looks pretty questionable, but at least it smells reasonably good. As we take our seats at a miraculously free table, I try to think of something that would actually interest him at all. I hope I can come up with an acceptable topic. I found an answer to the question that you asked a couple of weeks back. Where Lilly's non-Japanese half comes from, that is. Good, man. It's Russia, right? Totally Russia. Scotland. He's visibly stopped in his tracks. Scotland? Yeah, that was my reaction, too. She can speak English fluently and everything. Dang it! Do you realize what this means? How terrifying this news is to me? I have no idea, Kenji. No idea. I think he's hyperventilating. Passing out for a little while would probably make him more relaxed than he normally is. So should I ignore his insane ramblings or just humor him? Wow. I'm not entirely sure on this one. Humoring him could probably make this go on further, and on the flip side, I don't really want to listen to him any more of this, because I'm actually getting tired of Kenji. He's just weird and annoying and needs to go away. Honestly, this is probably the hardest decision I've probably ever had to make so far in this game. Should I see where this goes, or should I just ignore it? if I was actually streaming this, I would actually put it to the viewers, like, what do you want me to do? But in this case, I actually just want to move the story along, so I'm just going to ignore it. I dig into my food, hoping he'll take the hint from my silence. I just lost 1,000 yen, man. 1,000 yen. This is the worst day ever. No such luck. You're kidding me. You made a bet about her nationality? One of the dudes in my class was bugging me about it. I gave him some of my wisdom, and he had the audacity to say my logic was wrong. So what did he think? Germany or something. It doesn't matter. What matters is my 1,000 yen. Dang, this day is ruined thanks to her. What a crud bucket. He looks utterly devastated as he wolfs down several clumps of his soggy, soy-soaked rice. It only takes a few mouthfuls before he pokes his chopsticks at me, stabbing the air repeatedly in revelation. Why? Gobble, snarf, snap. Didn't your mother ever tell you not to speak with your mouth full? He gives me a dirty look before choking on the rest of the food left in his mouth and taking a gulp of juice. It's rather unsightly. Ghastly, even. Remembering my own food sitting in front of me, I decided to get the task of eating the cafeteria food over and done with as fast as possible. The sooner I do so, the sooner the experience will be over. So, as I was saying, why would anyone want to live in that place anyway? I mean, what is there to see? Grassy plains, that's it. Lots and lots of grassy plains. And men in kilts. I'm not sure which is worse, the food or his worldview. I can feel my face being dragged down by the combined weight. This is interesting word usage here. Descriptions, at least. Not that he'd notice or care. It's not that bad. Why do you care about her so much anyway? She's just your class representative after all. He gives a malevolent chuckle. For this anyone but Kenji, I'd feel uneasy at how he sounds. I finally found the chink in the Feminist Legion's armor. It took a while, but I'm confident that this is going to be how we can bring down the whole system. I'm about to blow your mind. I'm about to blow it away. Are you ready? I tune out his rambling for a moment as I finish my rice and start on the unappetizing soup. One taste is enough to confirm that it's cold. Ready as I'll ever be. I confirm that Lilly is in the Mafia. What? Alright. Stay with me for a second here, and I'll describe the scene. I wish I could do otherwise. Lily's there, walking down the street after school. You're not stalking her, are you? No, dang, man, I do have a sense of self-preservation. But not dignity, or morals, or social standards. Anyway, as I was saying, this car pulls up next to her, and guess who steps out? A man in a pinstripe suit, waves her in, then the two leave just like that. I tell you, man, she's under protection. Under protection. A man in a... Oh, I can see where this is going now. It takes effort not to sign exasperation. He's thinking of Akira. Let me guess. This man was about average height, had a slightly slender build, had blonde hair, looked foreign, and smiled a lot. He looks positively stunned. I take advantage of the moment of quiet to quickly gulp a mouthful of cold soup. It seems you're more observant than I thought. Yes, I have chosen well. I have chosen you well, my young apprentice. He giggles a little and nods to himself so dramatically that it looks comical. I can't tell whether that's intentional or not, or the fact that makes me frown. This has important ramifications, you know. If she really is connected to people like them, and we're smart about what we do with this information, we could turn this into our greatest weapon against the student council. Once he starts rambling into conspiracy territory, my juice suddenly becomes of much more importance. Only half listening to his pontifications, nice word usage, my mind drifts to the matter of Lilly and her antipathy for Shizune. The past between them is steadily becoming more coherent, but I'm not even sure if I should be learning of her past this way. Indeed, even if I do work out what went on, it really doesn't seem like my business to go and interfere. Dang, not having Lilly around is making my thoughts wander. I'm noticeably more bored and sullen without her company, and the same goes for Hanako. All we do during lunch anymore is eat and play chess. Come to think of it, I need to go check on Hanako after school. Considering her much improved attendance, I'm guessing she's come down with something. The conversation's over. Like, the rest of it I just, like, tuned out of Kenji, so... yeah, there's a small blessing right there. Oh, Nakai? Hey, Humuto, what's up? I stop as I'm about to leave the classroom, turning on the ball of my heel to meet Muto. He's holding out to me a couple of the worksheets we'd work on during the day with his long, lanky arm. Would you mind giving these to Ikazawa? I'd normally ask one of the girls to do it, but I assume you'll be checking on her. For a moment, I briefly considered the possibility of that being more than an innocent prediction. I quickly discard the idea, though, as it's hard to think of them acting in such a Machiavellian way. It's not in his nature. Sure, no problem. Walking up to the hallway of the girls' dormitory, several ideas of why Hanako's been absent float around in my head. The most obvious of them is just a simple cold. That said, she may not even be sick at all. It's been almost a week since Lily left, and despite her at least appearing to be normal, I suspected she's somewhat more insecure about it than she's letting on. Eventually, I come to Hanako's dormitory room. It's a simple brown door separating us. Her room's position next to Lily's is extremely convenient, and probably a large contributor to their meeting in the first place. Grimacing slightly at the prospect of her being sick, I rap my knuckles on the door. Silence. I listen intently for any sound of shuffling coming from inside, but I can't hear a thing. I knock on the door again, slightly harder. Still no answer. How strange. A door opens behind me. A freckled and somewhat scrawny underclassman I don't recognize comes out, and is briefly taken off guard by my presence. There's a boy here? Hi. Why would I keep this to myself? I need to deliver these papers, this homework, to Hanako. I think it would be in my best interest as a friend to ask where she is. At the very least, figure out if she knows about her. Actually, this might be a rather fortuitous meeting. Hey, excuse me, do you know if Hanako's come out of her room today or not? She doesn't seem to be answering. Ikazawa is Ikizawa. Her not answering the door is totally normal. That tall foreign girl's the only person she'll ever talk to, after all. She gives a shrug before walking off down the hallway, having much more important matters to attend to than Hanako or me. Her dismissive attitude annoys me. Backhand you! Hanako must have a reputation as a hermit, a reputation that doesn't seem outright undeserved, at least in the time before we'd met. Scratching my head, I make one last attempt at getting Hanako to answer as I knock on the door one final time. Hanako, it's just me. Muto said to give you some stuff. For a while, the attempt seems just as unsuccessful as the last. Just before I slip the sheets under her door, though, I can hear the handle rattling. Oh, nightgown. She's probably been in that all day. As the door opens halfway, I do my best to look Hanako over as quickly as possible. It's a task made somewhat more difficult by her oversized gown hiding so much of her body. Oh, I guess I'm looking for bruises or scarring, maybe? She doesn't look sick, or at least not immediately so. To be honest, I'd have preferred that to her expression right now. Hey, Hanako, Muto wanted me to give you these since you weren't in class today. I hold out the loose sheets, which she tentatively takes in her hands. The way she moves is weird, devoid of thought, as if she's some kind of mechanical automaton rather than a living being. Are you okay? If you're feeling sick or anything, I could get the nurse. It feels almost pitiful to put on such a routine get-well-soon act. I can't think of anything else I could possibly do for her, though. She seems to collect herself a little at the notion, but only a little. I'm fine. Okay. Well, that was abrupt. An awkward silence follows, eventually ended by her nodding solemnly in farewell and closing the door. The entire experience feels surreal. More than a little put off. I wander back to my room and hope that she'll be better by tomorrow, despite not knowing exactly what's wrong with her. No. Well, another episode quickly done and over with. So that was interesting. So we're going to quickly save there, because there's something more going on here with Hanako. Either she's really been put off by Lilly leaving her, and now she's just got no one left to turn to. I mean, yeah, she's got me, but, I'm of the opposite sex, and there's only so much she can talk to with me without getting some sort of, self-conscious about herself. So I don't... There's something else at play here that we're not privy to at the moment. Honestly, at this point, if I were Hisa, I would have called Lilly right up and say, hey, do you know what's going on with Hanako? Because she's doing this, this, and this. Has she ever done this to you before? And see what Lilly has to say. So, dissonance? Yeah, we're probably going to delve deeper into this Hanako issue going on right now. And so we'll probably find out a little bit more. So I'm intrigued. I want to know what's going on with Hanako. But I have heard nothing from Lilly. Not even a phone call. Is Hiso not calling her? Or is the long distance rates that atrocious? Probably the latter. Anyway, we'll find out in the next episode. So see y'all later.